What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Nickel City Rush Hour. I'm going to throw a plus in there because we don't always keep it to an hour. Sometimes we go over. Most of the time we go over. Let's be real, guys. It's super hard for us to keep it under an hour. We got a good show for you tonight. Fun show. Joining me, as always, is Mr. Jake Podger, my co-host now for over 4.5 years. Mr. Podger, we've been doing this.
Wow.
And then we got our good friend, Brett McDurphy, over from the Go Bills podcast. This guy's been killing it this year, doing a lot of Bills content. Get over to his channel and smash that subscribe button for him. We appreciate you being here tonight, Brett. And of course, our good friend Cody Smith from the Fantasy Draft Room. And, Cody has a lot of insight on football. He's going to be giving us some NFL news here, but he's also big in the fantasy football world. So this is your opportunity. He's going to give you some tips tonight, but we're going to go deeper into fantasy football in the upcoming weeks. But hey, you know what? You don't even have to wait for these shows. Just join our Discord. Link in the description of the show. It's absolutely free. We have a fantasy football thread. You can go talk fantasy football all day long. And, when Cody gets some time, usually he chimes in pretty quickly. We got some other folks as well, Chris and Jeremy. And all the guys here on the panel play fantasy football and have been doing it for years. I will say I'm the senior on this panel, and I've been doing it longer. I've been doing it since you had to go look at the newspaper every Monday to get your stats. That's how long it's been going on for me. It's a lot easier these days, but still there's some important things to get you ahead in your league. So let me start. First of all, I heard this funny thing from Mr. Podger here today. We have a group chat. We talk all the time, me, him, Brett, and our good friend Sean. By the way, we miss you, Sean. We want you out here soon. Looking forward to getting Mr. Sean Kula back on the air. He's working on a show that he's going to be putting out for Nickel City Mafia all year long, dealing with the trenches. Should be a fun show. But Sean, we'll get you on here soon. But Jake, in our group chat, you said, "Hey guys, what's going on today? I'm working on the 999 challenge." I'm like, 999 challenge? What the hell is that? I've never heard of that thing. These youngsters, by the way, they all have heard of it. So it's something with the younger generation, but it's apparently drink 9 beers, eat 9 hot dogs during a 9-inning baseball game. Now, baseball games today average 2.5 hours, give or take a few minutes. Mr. Podger, I'm surprised you're in the shape you're in, but 2.5 hours, 9 beers. I don't know anyone who wouldn't be smashed. So I don't know. Were you cheating? Were you watering those beers? Talk to me, man, about this challenge.
Well, when you're a veteran like me, Mike, it kind of comes naturally. There's really no issues there. But I will say this: when you eat 9 hot dogs, all that bread sort of soaks everything up, if you will. So that beer was tasting more like water. And honestly, the craziest feeling is like you don't feel at all drunk. You don't feel any of the beers. You just feel full. Like it's just so much in your belly at once. So yeah, overall, not super thrilled with my performance. It was about 7.5 innings to get 9 and 9 down, but I think we definitely could have went a little bit quicker on that. However, we took it pretty casually. My buddy Matt, shout out to him. He was the one hosting. He was grilling as we were eating, so we wanted to make sure we had nice warm hot dogs. Did the whole nines, Mike. We had the Weber's mustard. We had the ketchup. We had diced onions. So we did all the toppings on, in addition to with the bun, of course, and Salen's hot dogs. Shout out to Salen's because, it's a Buffalo staple. Mm-hmm. So, overall, I'm going to give myself a B+ on the performance. I think it could have went a little bit better. But, no, I feel great. I mean, honestly, and for good measure, I'll be honest with you. I think I'm going to open another beer. So I'll be right back.
So, Cody, you and I were talking. You were telling me one of the Watt brothers. Which one was it? Was the
JJ?
JJ Watt did this, and he was able to accomplish this, in 5.5 innings?
5.5 innings, and then also posted afterwards that he was still hungry, so they took a family trip to Culver's, and he had a triple cheeseburger, a shake, and cheese curds along with fries. Wow. Now, I do have to ask this, though, because there's been some flack on JJ for this. People are saying that, like you, Jake, that did it earlier than the 9 innings. People are saying that the true challenge is you have to pace it out for all 9 innings, because if you eat it quicker, then you can get it down and your stomach doesn't fill up as much.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I can see that. Because if you let it sit,
it starts to hit a little bit more, right?
Yeah, That's definitely true. Yeah. Okay. So food for thought, literally, next time.
9 hot dogs, Jake. So I was talking to Cody. He says the hot dogs are the bigger problem for him, at least in these challenges. Like, that's a lot of food, man.
Yeah, I had about 6 beers down within the first 3 innings. It was no issue there. I mean, we were shotgunning almost every other inning, but then you throw some hot dogs in the mix with the beers, and we were drinking Miller Lights. So it wasn't anything too crazy. It wasn't like we're drinking IPAs or anything like that. But I do want to give a shout out to Labatt's, shout out to you guys, because I know they were so kind. My good buddy Bill down the street, as I mentioned in each show, kind enough to provide us with these beautiful backdrops here of the cooler and the Lipton Hard Iced Tea sign. So shout out to Labatt, soft sponsor for Nickel City Mafia. However, we did go against the grain a little bit, did Miller Lights today.
And these are 12-ounce cans you're doing?
12-ounce cans, yep.
All right. Brett, have you ever done this 999 challenge?
Listen, if I did this 999 challenge, I probably wouldn't make it home. The last time I drank that much, I ended up on I-4 and by Disney World and ran across the interstate and everything. It's not pretty to watch.
No.
So, I got to pace myself, Jake. I mean, I'm proud of you, man. I think it's a great challenge to do, but I got to stay sober because I'm living the dad life. So that's
proud father of 2 right here. Father of the year, 3-time award winner.
Look, Jake's as sober as you can be right now. I am just amazed, and that's why I'm thinking this Miller Lite was watered down quite a bit. I'm just throwing that out there. But funny stuff.
You look at Bruce Smith back in the day. Okay, he would have 30 beers. Seriously, 30 beers on a Saturday, and then have an order of 25 chicken wings and be fine. And that was just an appetizer.
Yeah, I got to give a shout out to Big Al. I know we already mentioned in the chat here about the trade for Micah Parsons, but do want to give a shout out to him for passing his good drinking genes on to me. Nice. Just in terms of volume alone, I feel like I'm kind of good in that category. So appreciate that, Dad. Thanks a lot.
Well, let's get into it because Cody's going to mention Mr. Parsons as well. So, Cody, why don't you give us a rundown of the NFL news this past week?
All right. So in the past week, we've got a couple of pretty big signings that have happened. We'll start off with the Denver Broncos extending defensive lineman Zach Allen, agreed to a 4-year, $102 million extension, $69.5 million of that fully guaranteed. We also have the Miami Dolphins down south in y'all's division. Dolphins signed defensive tackle Zach Sealer, reached an agreement today on a 3-year extension worth up to $67.75 million, $44 million guaranteed. He had 2 years remaining on his deal, now becomes the highest defensive paid player for the Miami Dolphins. And then we also had earlier in the week, Courtland Sutton averaging $23 million on his new extension, tied for only 18th in wide receivers in the NFL, with $41 million of that guaranteed, but none of the guarantees extend beyond 2026. Some other miscellaneous news before we get into something. I do have some insider information directly connected to the Buffalo Bills that we'll get to at the very end of this little wrap up. We also have the Seahawks GM, John Schneider, signed a 6-year extension with the Seattle Seahawks to be their GM. I don't know what he's exactly done in terms of winning to deserve that, but he will be there for the next however many years that continues to go together. The Seattle Seahawks did also cut their tight end, Noah Fant, and then he signed with the Cincinnati Bengals for a 1-year, $2.75 million deal up to $4.25 million with incentives. The ex-Buffalo Bill, Latavius Murray, officially retiring from the NFL earlier this week. It feels like he's been out of the league for a couple of years now, but sad to see Latavius Murray go, but a fantastic career for him. We also had Zach Moss released from the Cincinnati Bengals. He has a neck injury. They didn't injury designate waive him, so he could still sign, and he's not wasn't paid off to go do that, but sounds like he might have his career being over at this point, unfortunately, with that neck injury. One of our special teams guys, Jake, Cordero Patterson, released by the Pittsburgh Steelers, unfortunately. And then kicker news, Nick Folk was signed to the New York Jets to be their kicker. And a couple of injuries. We'll talk about it a little bit more probably throughout the show. Khalil Shakir with a high ankle injury that he picked up earlier today or yesterday that's going to keep him out probably all the way through preseason. And the last one that I have before we get into the insider news, the Dolphins defensive back group continues to take hits. They have lost now Kader Kohu and Artie Burns, both to season-long knee injuries. Their D-back room, at least on the cornerback, is now led by Duck Storm. It's not great down there in Miami on the defensive backside. We do have the James Cook news as well. And then we have all of our holdouts, which include Terry McLaurin officially requesting a trade from the Washington Commanders on Thursday, Trey Hendrickson currently holding in with the Cincinnati Bengals, and Micah Parsons officially requesting his trade on Friday. Insider news, I have just been informed by a person who was a kindergarten classmate with Terry McLaurin. The Buffalo Bills have reached out to the Washington Commanders to see what the level of interest would be. They've said that they have no interest in trading him, but the Buffalo Bills have confirmed reached out.
Wow.
Love that.
Something. My goodness, you're hearing it first here, folks. What was this, a kindergarten friend, teacher? What was it?
Kindergarten friend, and friends with him for the last 20, however many years.
Wow. Hell yeah, Code.
Would probably be upset if he hears this, but I don't think he has any connection over to the Buffalo Bills or anything other than that. So, I think we're fine to share the news, and I probably won't get in trouble for it, but have to give you all the insider information. That one just dropped about an hour and a half ago in a different Discord.
That's awesome.
I love
That's
that,
awesome.
dude.
I love it. You mentioned James Cook. You kind of passed over that. What was the news on James Cook?
James Cook has officially said that he is not practicing because of quote unquote business.
Mm-hmm.
I did see that.
And then he was asked again, would he be practicing tomorrow? And then all that he said was business. And then another question, and then he said business.
Business.
Even after he's been practicing with the Buffalo Bills, it appears that we are now in a hold-in situation for James Cook.
Interesting. River Wayne out there, first time seeing you out there. Thanks for joining the channel. Please drop a nickel and up subscribe button. Join us. We'd love to have you week to week. But he's saying, laugh out loud, Terry ain't going nowhere. Again, probably not. You're probably right, River. But, it's always interesting to kind of at least, see this kind of news and your team, the Bills in our case, have reached out. So it's always a good thing because we're always wondering, I wonder if the Bills are reaching out to even have a conversation. And he just confirmed that they are. And he's got Ray Davis to the moon. Love it. And Trey's coming in with love the Terry news. Glad to hear Beans always checking in. Absolutely. And again, for those that are on the stream right now, please smash that like button for us. It goes a long way to helping the channel. And for those rewatching this show, give us your opinions on everything we're talking about, and also smash that like button. But let's get into the question right off the bat from Big Al. Parsons, Micah Parsons, should we trade for him? Okay. Let's talk about this. This is another thing. River will probably say he's not going anywhere. He's probably not. I think the Cowboys would be absolutely crazy to let a talent like that go. Jerry Jones putting his foot in his mouth and causing some trouble there. But I'll start with you, Brett. I mean, first of all, do you think we should? And of course, I would say yes all day. But if we did, what would that look like to you?
Should we do it? Yes. Will we do it? That's the other question. We're currently 32nd in the NFL in terms of salary cap right now. You're going to have to give up so much to get Micah Parsons. It's not even funny. I mean, it's going to take a deal for James Cook and probably Khalil Shakir, maybe even more, maybe a second-round pick or a third-round pick in order to get Micah Parsons. Is it worth it? No. I think this team is ready. We have Joey Bosa. We have Greg Rousseau, and there's a lot of talent on this roster. But I'm not selling the farm to get Micah Parsons right now. Even though he is elite, he's great for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm just not selling the farm to get him. I think there's other needs on this roster when it comes to the offensive side of the ball. Terry McLaurin would be great to get as well, but I just don't think that we can do it this year. I think that this is a move for 2026 if we were to even consider it, but I don't think that we should do it.
Brett or Jake, let's throw some theories out there. What if we, Rousseau, let's say Rousseau is part of that package and a few other players, and then of course some draft picks. I don't know, man. I'd be so interested in doing that. Jake, what are you thinking here?
I just feel like Bean will stick to the fact that he extended Rousseau. You go out and extend this guy this offseason. I don't think you're going to go ahead and trade him now. I feel like that's just in bad. It doesn't feel right to do something like that. And I would be okay with it as a fan, just because you are upgrading. I mean, this is a man that's won Defensive Player of the Year, has been arguably the best. I mean, it's 1A, 1B, 1C with him, Myles Garrett, and TJ Watt, right? So it's like, This is the one of one with the other two, I guess, of defensive ends in football right now. So it would be, just an immediate upgrade. It would be our best player, maybe outside of Josh Allen on the team, period. So, yeah, I mean, I'm all about it. It's like Brett said, you're selling the farm for something that, down the line, it's going to cost us a lot of money. We got to still pay some other guys too, so it's, to me, as much as I would love to see it happen, I can't see it happening. No chance in hell. And I know he listed the Buffalo Bills supposedly as one of his 4 teams that he'd like to be traded to.
Guys, you guys are no fun at all. I'm selling the farm, man. I'm going for the Super Bowl.
I love it, Mike.
Ring. Let's sell the farm. And
would you rather have Micah Parsons or Terry McLaurin? That's a question for you.
Parsons.
Okay.
I don't think we'll take advantage of the receiver based on everyone eats. And what has been our biggest struggle? A closer. We picked up Bosa, but can Bosa stay healthy? Got a Micah Parsons. Oh my goodness, that narrative changes. Plus the other additions we made on defense. My goodness, it'd be scary good. So I'm taking Parsons over McLaurin, and I'm selling the farm. And because I'm going for that ring this year. But Cody, like for instance, Big L says, by the way, John Robert, we haven't seen you in a while. I finally was able to get this streaming back on Facebook. Thanks for joining us tonight. Good to see you. He says Brandon B will probably just get a compensatory pick for James Cook. Hopefully that's not the case.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty sad. And then Big L saying probably Cook to Dallas and get Parsons, maybe. It'd have to be a little bit more, I think.
I mean, Dallas could use a running back, although they did sign Javonte Williams. They drafted who'd they get? Jaden Blue in the draft. So they that running back room, I feel like Javonte is probably going to be leading up the pack there, but it is kind of a mismatch. So, running back is a position potentially of need for the Cowboys. That's always a position I feel like they've had a pretty good hold on. So it is interesting. They get rid of Rico Dowdle. He goes to the Panthers. They don't really have that proven back, even though Javonte has shown some signs. He just hasn't been able to stay healthy. So maybe James Cook, could be in play. I don't know. We'll see.
All right, River. I don't know if River's saying don't sign Cook. He's afraid that, what he can do to his team, the Patriots. Thanks for revealing what team you're on. We love the Patriots. Not really, but we have folks on here. We support every fan base. But he also says Cook has regression on every level last season except for an anomaly touchdown season. And other than TDs, he was outside top 10 in every category. Cody, is this factual?
It is. Everything on a points per game basis. His yards per attempt, I believe, was one of the only stats that actually went up. But in terms of actual overall counting stats, every single stat, even if he only played 16 games, and even if you put it to a 17-game pace, was still lesser than it was in his first 2 years, or not his first 2 years combined, but it was lesser than it was last year, except for increasing your rushing touchdowns from 2 to 16, which is absolutely ridiculous. And it's fantastic and a beautiful, impact to the offense. But you as a runner are still not doing anything better, and apparently asking for to reset the market type of money to be paid the same as a Saquon Barkley. I mean, your brother already did this and it literally ended his career and he never played again with the New York Jets. So I don't know if they're sharing same agents, they're sharing same information, but it doesn't seem like a thing that you really want to be doing on your rookie contract before you even go anywhere else. I know that you maybe deserve to get paid more than what you're currently getting paid, but that's about 90% of the running backs in the league currently right now as well.
Wow.
And how much do you attribute that to Josh Allen, what he does on the field?
Right.
Because, I think he's a great compliment to Josh Allen, but I think that Josh is the sole purpose of the Bills offense.
Yes, fully. Everything runs through this kind of mismatch wide receiver room that you all have put together, where you don't really have a one that's kind of emerged yet, but it still was one of the best offenses in the league last year. And so, yes, you do need a running back of the style of James Cook to really excel that up to the next level, to probably be as much as I love our boy Ray Davis or Ramon Walters and Jamar Davis, I don't think that thrusting him into that role would be good for the Buffalo Bills, but it's not as much of a detriment as it would. I think, honestly, losing a Khalil Shakir would be worse to the offense than it would be at this current point of where everything sits than to lose James Cook.
Yeah, Cook to me, he's a game changer. He can take it to the house. He took a few to the house and turn around a game quickly. I'm surprised about the stats. But Trey says Cook's YPA is mostly because of the elite offensive line from the Bills. And a lot of that's true. I mean, let's look back in time. Any good offensive line, you got Denver with the Terrell Davises and the other guys that ran behind that line. Steelers. I mean, it felt like no matter who was running would have a good year. You wanted that guy, especially on your fantasy football team. So O-line has a lot to do with it. Of course, Cook has good hands out of the backfield, good speed, and again, he can take you to the house at any time. That's the only thing that I want to see him doing more of that. So I'd hate to see us lose that. But you know, that's just my opinion. But Jake, anything else you want to say on this one?
Yeah, I mean, I love James Cook. I think he's super explosive. Obviously, want him here in Buffalo, even if you can structure the contract so you can kind of get him his projected amount per year. If he meets a certain criteria, you only guarantee maybe half of that. Make it work if you can, obviously, because I want him here. But then again, you talk about the offensive line, what they've done. They are still not getting enough flowers for just how good they are. There's a guy in this offensive line that I still think doesn't get enough credit either. In Osiris Torrance. And that's a guy that we're going to have to think about paying too, because you talk consistency, you know, in total of career starts, all that good stuff. I mean, he's been an absolute gem and just love what he brings to the table. So that's a dude that's going to actually want to get paid up in the future here too. So you talk about guys, you know, paying guys in the future and saving some cap space for other dudes on this team, you know, not just skill guys, but the offensive line in general. You want to keep that core nucleus.
Yeah, I like what River says. Ray Davis had 6 touchdowns, wasn't even their starter. Are you comfortable? Let's say Cook did sit out. I don't know, something crazy happens. Are you comfortable with who we have in the backfield? Because I am. I do like Ray Davis. I do like what's it, Ty Johnson. I mean, I think they could step in and do a serviceable job. Especially like I said, what we saw from Ray Davis is his rookie year last year. So he's just going to continue to elevate. But what's your thoughts on that? I mean, Brett, are you comfortable with the backups we have there?
I'm trying to think of the answer to this. Am I comfortable? I'm always going to worry because I'm a Bills fan. I mean, that's what all of us do. I'd say I'd be okay with it. I mean, that's probably going to be the answer that I would give. I don't know about Jake. But I'd be okay with it. Don't know if I'd love it.
All right. Well, Drek Review's already got the deal for us to get Parsons, and he's
Drek. If they do this trade,
yeah,
I think I'm pretty damn good with that. I mean,
he's not selling the farm here. I don't think so. I mean, Epinesa, Samuel, who just kind of so far has been a bust signing. Mitch Trubisky. I mean, I'm not sweating that one either.
Right.
And a first in 2026. Come on now. I don't know. You think that'd be enough, Cody? Think that'd be enough to interest Mr. Jones over there in Dallas?
The Dallas kicking back a second part is definitely not happening with that type of a trade. Like, I think if you maybe did that entire package straight up, they also just traded for Joe Milton, and he's their like lone backup right now. Is I believe Will Greer is now. Was it Will Greer or was it the other one? One of the two is also now with the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, Cooper Rush. Yep.
Cooper Rush. Yeah. Will Greer, I believe, is still there as their third, but you don't want to see Will Greer ever take snaps on the field for them. I think this is probably still light with the level that Parsons is. And honestly, for the Buffalo Bills standpoint, kind of to what Bro was saying earlier, like it's the money that you have to pay on the back of the contract as well after the fact. It's not just the pieces that you have to send away. It's the contract that you have to also wrap into everything with future players that you're going to have to pay, like even a James Cook that we were just talking about coming in just for now, and then probably another restructure on a Josh Allen contract to make it work for the next 3 to 4 years while he's still being paid. Like that's more the part of it that makes it a little bit more difficult.
Right. Because you'd have to restructure Deion Dawkins to begin with. So that pushes along the fact that you don't have any money for future years. And then you're probably going to have to restructure Dawson Knox as well. So I don't know about you, Jake. I'm not going to be comfortable with that. It kind of bothers me to move money for players that are getting older when we need to get younger.
That I mean, that makes a ton of sense, Brett. And by the way, we drafted some defensive ends and some good players on the defensive line in general. Mike, your boy Landon Jackson, let's give him some credit here.
Oh,
Like, I know they called him two slap back at Arkansas, but let's let this man work. I mean, I took a nice video of him for you too, by the way, where I zoomed in. I'm like,
beautiful.
This dude is a specimen.
Yeah.
He can play. He can play.
I mean, I did get a text from him, by the way. I'm very close with him. I got a text, and he's very upset when you bringing up the two slap all the time. He doesn't like it. You need to stop that. So please give the
Listen,
man
I'm just
respect.
relaying what my boys down in Arkansas are calling him. I don't believe 1 second of it. I don't.
All right, so let's put a wrap on the Micah Parsons. For me, I'd sell out. That's just me. Been a Bills fan forever, over 50 years now. I got to see a ring before I go upstairs to the big guy. Sell out. Get this done. And I think if Trek Reviewer that, and maybe if I had to throw even another draft pick in 2026 or 27, I'm getting it done. Anyhow, River coming back to River Wayne. Love it. Love the Bills. He's getting some inside information to pass on over to Patriots, but we'll give you that information. Do you guys see Coleman being a solid number one, or is Shakir the guy? I'll start with you, Jake.
I think Shakir is absolutely the number one target in this offense. I think Keon Coleman is going to be a complementary piece. I don't see him being like that Randy Moss number one by any means. I know that's probably not what a lot of people want to hear, but I think in this case, it's going to be okay. Keon's going to be a red zone guy. He's going to be a guy that can win inside. I think, just seeing some of the things we've seen in camp with him putting on some size and being able to win those one-on-one matchups with the size, not particularly like the traditional skill set of a receiver with route running and shiftiness and all that stuff. He can win as the basketball player that he is, so I think he's going to contribute a lot more this season, but I still think in terms of targets, yards, all that good stuff, it's going to be Khalil Shakir, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. He's been getting, you hear this a lot. Like, he's been getting good praise at camp, having a really good camp, building that chemistry. The dude's big physical guy, and he should be able to win a lot of 50-50 balls. Separation, I'm not hearing that's changing much in camp, but you would hope that is improving, working with the coaching staff and all that. So I have to believe that that's going to be better this year. And anytime you're that big and strong, you're going to be somebody very difficult to watch. So not the number one guy. I agree with you guys, but number two for sure.
And here's a comp that I want to throw out there. Malcolm Floyd played for the Chargers for many years, was really just like a 600, 700, 800 yard guy. I think his best year was maybe 850-ish, around there. But he was with the Chargers for 11 years, was very effective, did what he had to do. Just a big body guy that could win the matchups, could actually stretch the field at times and make those really spectacular catches, which we saw some glimpses of this past year. I think that's what Keon Coleman can be. And I don't think that'd be the worst thing in the world. You spend a second round pick on that for some longevity and consistency in that sense. I think I'm okay with that. So I'm going to throw that out there. I'm saying Malcolm Floyd 2.0. All right. That's okay. That's okay.
I like it. Yeah, that's totally fine. I just want to show you. I want to, we're going to go to Brett here in a little bit to talk about the Bills weekend review at camp. But I was looking at this Bills roster, these wide receivers, and just how big they are. First of all, Tyrell Shavers. This is his third year with the Bills. I was practice squad the prior 2 years. Every time a guy sees the field, he makes things happen. I was hoping he'd be a guy to make the active 53, and maybe he still could. 6'6", 211. My goodness. And he's got some great game speed. We've seen him. He took one to the house from Mitch last year. I think it was a 70-yarder. But in preseason, when he gets any game time in regular season, seems to shine. Keon Coleman, 6'4", 215. My goodness. Now, these guys, I want you to catch some folks up, and then we'll go to Brett. But check out these receivers. Jake, you're going to have to tell me a little bit about them because I don't know much. We got Caden Prather. He's 6'3", 210 out of Maryland. We got Deion Kane. Interesting story. Talk about him a little bit. He's 6'2", 202, runs a 4.4 out of Clemson. We got Steven Gosnell. Talk to me about him. Don't know much about him either, other than he's out of Virginia Tech. And then Laviska Shenault. Keep hearing that name a lot. I don't personally know a lot about him, out of Colorado, but these guys are all over 6 feet, 6'2" and above. And then you got some other ones, Jalen Virgil, Wilkerson, and I can't even say the other gentleman's name, but 6 foot and over. The league is changing, Jake. But talk to me about some of those guys I mentioned, because they're also, I hear their name a lot in camp from some of the beat writers that are there watching.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are long striders. These are guys that have some pretty good size hands that can make tough catches. They're not necessarily your burners, although Caden Prather, I think, ran 4.46 around there. Actually pretty surprised that he was a UDFA, or was he a UDFA, or he was yeah, he was, right? Or no, he was 7th round. 7th round. That's right. So what I see with these guys is they're trying to figure out who the best one of each of those guys is, right? They want to target players that are a little bit bigger, that have those longer strides, that can use their body size to sort of box out, make these back shoulder catches and do the things that we really haven't been able to do in the past. Because I feel like our receiving core has sort of been somewhat undersized, if you will. You go back to even with when we had John Brown and Emmanuel Sanders and stuff like that, more of your traditional faster, shiftier, good route runners, right? Now I think you're trying to combine that with a little more size on the outside. And I don't know if these guys are really going to ever get serious play time. You're going to see them playing specials. They're going to be your gunners. They're going to be making plays on special teams more so than in the offense. But it's an interesting focus and an interesting battle to really look at. Stephen Gosnell, want to give a shout out to him because he's been really impressing in camp. Sean, our boy, gave him the nickname Stephen Goatnell, kid out of Vod Tech, 6'1", 205. You talk about yards per catch, just making the most of his opportunities. Didn't catch a ton of balls in college, but shoot, what he did with it. I mean, you're averaging I think he averaged 18 point something yards a catch his senior season. So that's the stuff I think you like to see, just big opportunistic plays, big time catches when you need them the most.
Yeah, I'm loving this. Going to the big receivers, that I always want these guys over 6 foot, 200 pounds. They're just so tough to guard, especially if you're under a 6 foot cornerback. I feel like the corners eventually, Jake, you're gonna have to start seeing 6'2", 6'3" corners.
Yeah, right.
But River, I'm gonna ask Cody this because it's what he does. It's what he does. He does projections, and I think he's did the AFC East, and I don't know who's Gentry playing for, by the way.
The Raiders.
Raiders. Okay, so I don't know if you've gotten to that division, Cody, but let me throw it to you first. For the Bills, off the Bills for a second, I'd like you to give your projections for Gentry this year. Then I'll give you mine.
Yeah, so Ashton Jeanty, I do have everything. All the projections are done. I don't have all the videos out, but all of the projections are in the sheet and everything, and they're constantly updated and tweaked. I have him for just under 300 carries at 297 carries, 1,366 yards on the ground and 10 touchdowns, 48 catches for another 357 through the air and 2.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Rookie of the year?
Depending upon quarterback play, that'd be the only thing that could knock him out of the contention, but he is the favorite front runner on books right now for rookie of the year.
Dang, I was saying Genty. Sorry, my apologies. All right, River, what are you saying? He says, I see 300 carries at 4.3 yards per carry, 1,300 yards. I think that was on track with you. Did he read Did he read your article?
Right on.
I mean, we're real close here.
Oh, but he's got 50 catches for another 400 yards. 14 touchdowns total. What was your total touchdowns?
Total touchdowns is at 12. I've got 357 through the air on 48 catches. I mean, we're pretty neck and neck here.
Oh man, look at that. So that's cool. And let people know. And Brett, before we throw it to you, I want Cody, it is fantasy football time. Cody is going to do a show for us in the next week or two and really tell folks, no matter what type of league you're in, where you can get a head start. And then that you should be getting into your fantasy football research sooner than later. You want to get an edge. There's so many people each year that are doing fantasy football for the first time. You hear it all the time. They're like, oh, I don't expect to do too well. It's my first time. Don't change that attitude. The information's there. You just got to go watch some videos, go to our Discord, listen to this guy named Cody here. We got Jeremy and Chris on our show as well, but they're going to give you some tips. But Cody, talk to me a little bit about what somebody should be doing at this stage in the season where we're I don't know, a month away from football, a little over a month away. What should they be doing to get ready?
I think we're at like 52 days, something like that. I know we're close. I don't even know if it's that far out. We might be a little bit closer than that, but yeah, it's the biggest thing for me. One, don't turn into a full degenerate like I am, where you have 16 dynasty leagues and then you also have another 2 redraft leagues and you play 18 leagues in a year. Don't do that. Don't fall down
17.
the rabbit hole.
I love that code.
Don't fall down the rabbit hole.
Heard.
It's a beautiful place to live, but it will take your entire life if you let it. So I would suggest not doing that. But if you're just getting into it, the biggest thing for me to start off with is a lot of people just like to focus on like players and what your first round pick is going to be. There's so much variance that happens every year with how injuries go, with how the team goes, that I mean, we hear the stories all the time. My girlfriend doesn't even watch football, but yet she's the one beating me, and I'm watching every single game and following news 24/7. Like this type of stuff happens all the time, especially when you're playing in a game where typically you only have 12 teams in a league, and there's a lot of variance that happens all the way throughout the season. But my biggest thing that I would say to anybody who's just starting off with it and just trying to get into a league is look at your settings. Do not care about the exact players that you're taking before you look at the settings for it. Understand if it's half PPR or points per reception, full PPR, tight end premium. Do you need to start one quarterback or is it a super flex league? Which platform are you drafting on? Look at the ADP. Just don't go by the top of the ADP board. If you're playing in defense and kicker leagues, eliminate them because we don't like to play with defenses and kickers. But if you are playing with defenses and kickers, don't be the person who drafts. Well, unfortunately, we're going to use the name because he's not in the league currently right now, but used to be that people would draft Justin Tucker in like the 10th round. No, you do not draft your kicker until if you can, you don't even draft a kicker. You wait until the day before the season and then you pick up a kicker. So there's a bunch of small stuff. Like Mike said, I'm going to be doing a show on this at some point here in the near future. We'll figure out what exactly the format is, maybe a mock draft to talk through, or maybe a little bit of a preamble and then a mock draft. Maybe just going through some settings and how those things would change depending upon what your league format is. But yeah, it's fantasy football time. This is where I live and breathe, and it's why I can somewhat at least talk about the Buffalo Bills with y'all, because I am an absolute degenerate whenever it comes to this stuff.
I love it. I don't know if anyone else gets mesmerized by this man's voice. I do. I mean, he's got the best voice in podcasting. So Tommy from Mafia Sports Report, good to see you, my friend. If you haven't caught Tommy on Mafia Sports Report, what the heck are you doing? Get on over there. He's in if you go down, we have all these awesome channels. He's definitely in that awesome channel list. Go check him out. Love the guy. Fantastic. Good to see you, Tommy. Thanks for jumping on for a little bit. He says, smash that like button. Yep, good reminder. Smash that like button for us. We appreciate it. River also says, I got 12 leagues. He's laughing about that. And then we got Conrad out there. Conrad saying Elijah Moore thoughts. And first I'll throw it to you, Brett. What's your thoughts on Elijah Moore? And then Jake, follow up with that.
Yeah, I'm going to say it started off camp, pretty hot, and then all of a sudden kind of cooled down a little bit. And I think he got accustomed to the weather in Buffalo. We haven't really heard a lot about him, and he's hurt right now, not playing. One of the 12 players for the Buffalo Bills that are currently out, actually. So he's missing a little bit of time, but hopefully we can see him back within the next week or two.
Love it. Your thoughts, Jake?
I'm trying not to get too high on it because there's always that darling camp player who comes in, that wily vet. And, Elijah Moore, he's had a couple of good seasons these last 2 years, right? And you saw him kind of be able to make it work with whoever was throwing him the football there in Cleveland, whether it was Joe Flacco, whether it was Jameis Winston, whether it was whoever, right? So, I'm excited about it, but I'm not going to get my hopes up too high. There's a lot of receivers in this offense. Do I think he can be special? Do I think he is the right type of player? Yes, but there are going to be reps taken away from him by Curtis Samuel. There's going to be reps taken away from him by Keon Coleman. I mean, there were some other guys that really shined the other day. I had a chance to go to that blue and red game. And let me tell you, Mike, there's a kid, Jalen Virgil, who we signed late in the year last year, that was more of just like a gunner. He made some spectacular catches and really showed out at the receiver position when Khalil Shakir went down. He stepped in, was working in the slot a little bit, and did some really impressive things. I'll tell you what, he's competing for a roster spot. And I think there's a chance that he can make this team too. So, it's a loaded receiver room as much as it's not loaded with these household names. it is going to be really, really interesting to see who these final 6 guys are, because I think that's probably the number is 6.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And I'll tell you what, I expect some of these guys to get snagged. I really do.
Yeah.
Like Shavers, how many more times can that guy go on the practice squad? The guy has proven to me he deserves a starting spot somewhere, or at least on a roster somewhere.
Sure.
But so it'll be interesting. John Roberts says first preseason game for the Bills is Saturday. And I love this one here from Trick Reviewer. He's really still trying to get the deal done with Dallas.
I love that.
He says, with how delusional Jerry Jones is, you could throw Jake Podger in the trade and Jerry will think it's Josh Allen. Now, for those you that have joined us or haven't heard this story, Jake gets confused for Josh Allen. A lot of people think he is Josh Allen. He's got a lot of stories out there. And we had Andre Reed on our show once, and Jake asked him straight up, what do you think, Andre? Andre said, absolutely. I can see it. He called him Josh's doppelganger. It was fantastic. But Jake, have you had any of that recently? But you've had that, right? Many times.
I was at a wedding not too long ago, and we're on the dance floor, and some guy comes up to me. Now, he was a little drunk. So maybe it's only when they got some like drunk goggles or whatever you want to call beer goggles on. Came up to me and said, hey, you look like Josh Allen. Just want you to know. And he slapped me on the ass when he walked away. I'm like, hey, I'll take that all day and run with it, brother. Thank you. My wife looks at me, rolls her eyes right to the back of her head.
Because she don't see it, right? She says, I don't see it. I don't.
When she sees it in public, it's the best because I give her that look and I'm like, hey, there you go. I'm not just making this stuff up, you know? So it is a thing of beauty.
I absolutely love it. So who knows? Maybe Jones could be tricked and we take that deal. Of course, you know, Josh or Jake would have to live over there in Dallas for first season, but
I'll do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah,
we'll still get him on the pod.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the Bills, and we're going to throw it to our Bills insider. Nobody does it better than Mr. Brett McDurphy. And Conrad's already got a question. Have you heard anything about Khalil's injury? Brett, break it down for us. The weekend review, what you've heard at camp, and any of the injuries we should be concerned about.
It's been a crazy week at camp. Let's put it that way. I mean, injuries are racking up for the Buffalo Bills. I mean, it's a laundry list, pretty much. I mean, I have receipts scattered across my whole entire desk right now because I'm keeping track of every injury for the Buffalo Bills. But for Khalil Shakir, it looks like he's going to be okay. He has a high ankle sprain, which is a little bit concerning. He's going to be week to week, but it's expected that he's going to be back for week 1. Now, the biggest injury of the week was our first-round pick, Maxwell Hairston. There's been some news outlets that reported that he tore his ACL. That is not true. So the good news is he did not tear his ACL. He has a knee sprain and an LCL ligament damage. He's going to be out probably 3 to 4 weeks, probably missing week 1, I imagine. But he can be sprinkled into the lineup for the guy that I have, and I'm wearing his jersey, Tre'Davious White. Glad to have him back in Buffalo again. But now you can kind of take what he's done in training camp and let him, you know, kind of learn the playbook and learn behind Tre'Davious White, a guy that 9 years ago was in the same position that Maxwell Hairston's in as a first-round pick, playing for the Buffalo Bills. But it gives the Bills a chance to have somebody that they know understands the playbook and knows what to do out there and will make plays too. I mean, Tre'Davious he's pretty much at the tail end of his career, probably the twilight years now. And he's trying to extend it a couple more years just to get to the level of, 10-year veteran, which is always great to see in the NFL. And I think that having him with the Buffalo Bills is a big thing to have, because you have somebody, like I said, that understands the playbook, that's been there, done that, and can teach Maxwell and Dorian Strong, another cornerback for the Buffalo Bills. But let me go over this injury list that we have for the Buffalo Bills. I mean, it starts with Hairston and Khalil Shakir, but it also has guys like our 6th offensive lineman, Alec Anderson, who is dealing with a big injury. Cedric Van Pran-Granger, he's been injured throughout the whole entire training camp. A guy that's been on the injury report for the last 2 years, Cole Bishop, dealing with another injury. We have a bunch of receivers on the roster that are either injured or having veteran rest days, and Elijah Moore. Add into the mix Josh Palmer, Curtis Samuel, Caden Prather, all injured. And the biggest one for me is the special teams player that could be out for a couple of weeks. And I think that this is something that might concern Jake and Mike is Tyler Bass, pelvic injury. That's a huge injury to have. And Thigh Doctor, if you go on Twitter and look him up, he has the injury reports for all the Buffalo Bills players. He says it could be up to 2 weeks. And that's concerning. When you have a running back that's making your kicks during preseason, I'm a little concerned about that. But the good news is he was out there on the field doing some individual work. I don't know if he's going to be back on the field necessarily for the preseason, but I'm concerned as a fan. I mean, I'm worried who's going to be our kicker, especially when a guy like Nick Folk goes to another team for in the division. I wonder who's going to be out there. I mean, I don't think that Justin Tucker is going to make it on the Buffalo Bills just because he has a 10-game suspension. But imagine being out a kicker for a couple of weeks. What are we going to do?
Well, pelvic injury. Get your head out of the gutter there, Jake. I know what you're thinking. But the first thought comes is to mind is Nate Gary, your cousin. I mean, he's already proven he can hold a long snap, hold it perfectly. Maybe he's got some leg in him as well. Kick some field goals for us.
No, he does not have a leg. I can confirm that right now. He is. I'll tell you what, holding is an art. That's what he's good at. Stick the hold in the football, Nate. He even said Reed kind of went a little easy on him. He didn't go too crazy. He said the first snap didn't get on video. It was a hard snap back. Kind of fumbled it a little bit. He still got it down. But stick the hold in the football.
Just to catch everyone up, Jake's cousin, Nate Gary, who's on WGR, went at Reed Ferguson, long snapper for the Buffalo Bills, and they had a little bit of exchange, and Nate was saying that holding's easy. I can do it. And so they met up. I haven't seen the footage yet, but Nate did a beautiful job. Reed snapped it to him, laces out, boom, perfect hold. But
he always was a good holder. I mean, even in his playing days, that's what he took a lot of pride in that. So I'm proud of him.
I mean, I'm concerned on you with Bass. I mean, I feel like there's kickers out there that we can sign short term. I'm personally not too concerned, but what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I don't love it. I mean, it's not ideal. It's not an ideal situation. I'm just trying to think of who's even available. I mean, Brandon McManus, that's a name, I think. You could go sign the old 41-year-old Matt Prater. I think he's available. Outside of that, I mean, I don't know. It's slim pickings. You might have to go and sign a rookie UDFA or something. Bring him in, And I think that's probably what they'll do. They're bringing a Cam Body and have him kick some field goals. Put some good tape out there, and he probably won't be our kicker, but he'll probably end up elsewhere. So that's probably the next move we'll see in the next coming days here.
Yeah, Brad. Hopefully you're right. Hopefully it's just a couple of weeks. I'm most concerned about Maxwell Hairston and Cole Bishop news. Maxwell Hairston's going to miss all of preseason. He's missed part of camp now, and he's definitely, in my opinion, he's not going to start day one. How could he? Right? He's not going to get any action on the field until he's healed, and that's going to be into the regular season. So I'm concerned, oh my goodness, how long is this going to take now to get him on the field? We saw how long it took Cole Bishop to get on the field last year. And then you talk about Cole Bishop injured again. He finally started to show up later in the season. I think he got the start. So now you got Damar Hamlin. And who's the other gentleman that's actually been doing pretty good in camp? Jake, rookie for us. That's his
Jordan
name.
Hancock?
Yeah, Hancock. And I keep thinking
we got Derek Forrest as well, who actually who said this? John Robert mentioned this. Derek Forrest just gave Trey White his jersey number, so they swapped. He was 27 initially. Trey White came back to the Bills, gave him 27. Derek Forrest moves to number 28, who, by the way, that's a guy that is on my radar, who I think can actually really play in this league and be a contributor. What he did a few years ago was pretty impressive to me with the Commanders. Now, he's still pretty young. He's 25 years old, but I think it was 2 seasons ago, 88 tackles, 4 interceptions. Really, really impressed me. He can play in this league, so look out for him.
Yeah, and Ray Davis, 220-yard field goals.
Yeah,
in the red and blue
so
team.
I witnessed that. That was pretty hilarious to watch. He missed one of them, but he did make 2 28-yarders. It wasn't pretty. Definitely wasn't pretty. It wasn't Dare Ogunbowale pretty. Yeah. I can tell you that.
There's nobody like Dare Ogunbowale whenever it comes to the running back kicker backup. Come on.
I want to talk about Conrad. Conrad, first time seeing you there. Thanks for joining us tonight. Love to have you smash that like button and join us. Drop a nickel on the subscribe button if you're not part of Nickel City Mafia. We welcome everyone. Hopefully you're a Bills fan, and if you're not, it's okay. But we just had another gentleman we met, River Wayne, Patriots fan. Love all fan bases. So, Conrad, let's get this answered for him. Is Dalton Kincaid ever going to pay off his draft capital? So, first of all, he's having a good camp. Every time, I get a lot of my insider information from the Shout podcast. Those guys are great. They're there watching. They're giving out text messages left and right of what's going on at camp. Dalton Kincaid's been a big target for Josh Allen throughout camps. Seems to be doing extremely well. I'll start with Cody. Now, Cody does projections. Let's talk about what Cody thinks is going to happen for Kincaid this year, year 3, and then I'll go to the other 2 guys. So, Cody, what's your thoughts on Dalton Kincaid?
So the question of paying off on draft capital, probably not for me. I think it's hard to, unless you're elevating into the elite level of tight ends within the league, to pay off on pure just draft capital, but can still be a very useful player. For y'all's consideration, I have him currently at 87 targets, 60 catches, 664 yards, and 4 touchdowns, which is a little bit above like a middling average tight end in the league. But I don't think that that's paying off on true draft capital with where you took him, but still a very integral part of the offense for 2025 and beyond. So paying off on draft capital, I think, is a different question compared to just being a useful part in the offense.
Now, Cody, do you have him? Have you done your rankings? Where's he ranking in the tight ends this year for fantasy football?
Let me go over to that one. I want to say he is in the 17 range, which is so I actually bumped him up. He is currently now, because I did change some things around with the Buffalo Bills recently, he's currently all the way up to tight end 12.
Okay.
So just on the edge there. Still not a tight end that's going to be a difference maker in terms of fantasy. You're probably really looking only at like McBride, Bowers, Kittle, TJ Hawkinson if you're looking into like truly difference making range, but still a guy that you could plug into your lineup most weeks.
All right, thank you. And I'll throw it to you, Jake. I mean, Kincaid had a lot of high hopes for this man. He's been a little injury prone, and that's certainly playing into what we saw last year. What's your thoughts on Conrad's question?
Well, it's funny. He looked phenomenal the other day. I can tell you that. I think out of anyone on offense, he probably was the best, the guy that shined the most to me. So, take it with a grain of salt. It's just camp. It's just a little scrimmage, just running some team on team stuff. But I can say this, based on what we've heard from last year, there was a nagging injury that probably should have had him out for a few more games. And, he shouldn't have really been able to play through it necessarily. So, you take that and the fact that I think his rookie year, what he showed is the ability to be reliable, a guy that you can count on, go to in third down situations. If we can at least have that back and still have the production that Cody mentioned, I would be totally fine with that. I don't think it's really going to match up to a 25th overall pick expectation. But then again, you really, when you draft the tight end in the first round, I think looking at the Buffalo Bills history, at least, you don't necessarily, you want it to be a home run, but it's not going to turn out to be Travis Kelce every single time. If you can get a guy that can get you 600 to 800 yards a season, stay here for 10 years, I would consider that a success. Now, we're only in year 3 now, and I think this is the year where he has to either put up or shut up, more or less. It is interesting because both him and Sam Laporta kind of had that same outbreak their rookie year. And then last year, both of them sort of took a step back. And I think it was definitely due to those injuries. So I agree with what you're thinking there, Code. I think the yards per catch might be a little bit higher just because there's obviously only so many miles you can feed in the offense. But I'll take that all day, brother, for the production. Not bad at all.
Not bad. Not too bad. It's funny how the narratives change. I mean, we were talking, he's like Kelce. He's going to be the next Kelce, right? And that's quickly changed, obviously. Bye-bye, Cam. I'm not even going to pay attention to these comments anymore. They're just ridiculous.
Hey, Trek, I do want to mention something about your last comment there about Paul McGuire.
Yeah.
My father-in-law used to date his daughter. Fun fact. Pretty cool.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
So, Conrad, I mean, why didn't Cook get more playtime last year? I'll let the guys answer. I'll let Brad answer. I thought he did. I mean, we rotate. We have three-headed horse back there in the backfield. They do things extremely well. Trying to keep that tread on his tire, right? Longevity. And I think I think they did a good job of bringing him in when it was necessary and using the other guys when it was necessary. So I don't think it was, I don't think I would have expected any more playtime. The dude had a ton of touchdowns. Numbers were pretty decent. But Jake, Brett, any thoughts on what Conrad's saying here?
I'll let Jake go first.
It's the tale of the three horsemen, right? You get different flavors, different styles from each of them. And James Cook is that explosive outside zone type guy that can, beat you to the corner every single time. He offers that ability over the other two. Ray Davis is that ground and pound, a dude who's, sneaky athletic and catch the ball out of the backfield, but also knock your block off and BPU all day long. Ty Johnson is just a do everything guy, a special teams player, a guy that's going to make the most clutch catch on third down, arguably the best third down back in football. Josh Allen said it himself. And a dude that, I think you just rely on him for the most pivotal moments in the game, which is kind of crazy to say about your third running back, but it was the truth last year. So the combination of all three was really special. And I don't want to see that go anywhere anytime soon. So, again, I'll mention this right now, although James Cook doesn't get that number one back, amount of carries or anything like that, he's still a very integral part of this offense. I understand you're going to overpay him regardless. And I don't necessarily think you give him that $15 million a season, guaranteed or anything like that, but you can work it out to the point where you still make him happy. You still make the Buffalo Bills happy, and you move on in the future here. He's 26 years old. Let's seal the deal.
Yeah. Well put, Jake. Well put. Anything to add there, Brett?
Yeah, I think one of the things that Jake is missing with comparing these running backs on the roster is the scheme that we run with Joe Brady. I think that what you see from Ty Johnson is that, like you said, he does everything. But the biggest thing compared to James Cook that he does is his pass blocking for Josh Allen. I think that he's a very good blocker, and he reminds me a lot of Fred Jackson, what he did for the Buffalo Bills back in the day in the early 2000s. Not only can he catch it out of the backfield, but he can also block very well. And you look at, the early 2000s of what Fred Jackson did to the Bills. He was by far the best blocker that we had as a running back. And you had guys like Marshawn Lynch, you had CJ Spiller, you had some other guys in the mix with Carlos Hyde and Mike Gillislee, that they did everything that was, the offensive statistics that you needed for the Buffalo Bills. He does the things behind the scenes that you don't normally see. He's that third down back that can catch it and go down the field 40 yards and make a big play. But he can also be in the backfield and block. And that's one of the reasons why we brought him back, is because his blocking ability and his just his ability to do the little things right, like a guy like Fred Jackson did for so many years in Buffalo.
Brett, you nailed it. So did
Great
Trey.
comp.
And so did you, Jake. But you were absolutely right. I kind of forgot about that pass pro that that Cook is. I think I remember it now. I'm watching some of these games and how he's just getting destroyed. So that's part of the reason Conrad is pass protection, as Trey and Brett have said, as well as everything that Jake said. So hopefully we answered your question. Weston, I don't know if the Trek reviewer has paid you and what that amount is, but here's a Chiefs fan saying to cut Cam. And the only thing I can think of is that a Chiefs fan would say cut Cam is he's afraid of him and he wants him for his team. So it's not going to happen. I'm telling you that right now. Jackson Hawes has been showing up, according to John Robert. Now,
Lee Smith Jr., baby.
Tight end, right?
Yep.
Okay. So, I mean, the battle is there. I like the other gentleman that we have. I always forget his name. Davidson, is it?
Zach Davidson.
Yep.
Zach Davidson. They're both about the same height. I think they're around 6'6". They're, I think Davidson's 250, and I think Hawes is 260. I don't know much about Jackson Hawes, but I'm sure one of you guys do. So can you kind of compare and who you think has the edge between Hawes and Davidson?
Yeah, I'll start it off because I know Jake knows everything. He's Mr. Encyclopedia on everybody out here. But what I'm going to say that I love about Jackson Haas is his blocking. Okay, we don't talk about it enough. The blocking that you need from a tight end and a wide receiver. I think when the Bills lost Matt Collins this year in free agency, I think that's going to hurt them so much. Just because of the way the run game was last year with Matt Collins being out there and blocking on the outside. He made plays when you probably should have seen your running back get tackled. And when you go up from the first seam in the defensive line to the second seam where you're blocking linebackers and safeties, you need a big body wide receiver or a big body tight end to get downfield that's fast enough to make plays. And that's what Mac did. Now you bring into the mix a guy in Jackson Haas who's going to play the Quentin Morris type role, where he's going to be the blocker in the 3 tight end sets that you normally have out there for the Buffalo Bills. And I think that he's going to do a fantastic job, but I think that he also can catch the ball better than Quentin Morris could for the Bills.
So just to know, PFF, small sample size last year. Davidson saw the field 42 times, 21 times for run block, and had a grade of 92. That's elite, small sample size, but don't count out Mr. Davidson for his run blocking ability as well. I know he's got good hands as well. So either one of them, I'm giving the edge still. I'm still giving the edge to Davidson because he's been with our team now. This will be his second year. And of course, when you've been with the team and built some chemistry, I'm giving him the edge. But Jake, do you agree with what Brett said? Talk to me about who you think has the edge here.
Yeah, I think it is Jackson Haas, and I'll tell you why. I think Zach Davidson is kind of a copy paste of the other 2 tight ends and Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid, right? And I love Zach Davidson. I think he's a very athletic player and can catch the football extremely well. But what Haas offers is, just that, the ability to inline block and to act as a receiver as well, to slip out and catch those 1-yard touchdown passes. You go back a few years ago where we had a guy named Lee Smith, and I think it's so fitting that Jackson Haas is also wearing number 85. You can basically copy paste those 2. I think this is going to be the next Lee Smith. He's going to be a leader in this locker room. He's going to be that blocking tight end. He'll catch maybe 3 passes all year long. They're all going to be touchdowns. Butch Roll-esque, if you will, Mike.
Butch Roll-esque.
There you go.
I think what Jake is afraid of in the future for the Buffalo Bills is that possibly Jackson Haas could be the end of
I know
Reggie Gilliam.
Don't do that.
Buffalo.
Nope.
I know I hate to say it, but
I know.
I think that he can play the fullback role. I think he can make a bigger impact on the Bills on the offensive side of the ball. But on special teams, I think that Reggie Gilliam has the edge. I really do.
Irreplaceable.
He's irreplaceable. You're right. But it hurts me to say that, Jake, and I obviously I don't want that. I don't want anybody to leave the Bills because you grow to love these players like you have with Reggie Gilliam. You love these players so much that it's like losing a brother.
Wow, I agree with that.
I mean, it is. You love them, you hate them at the same time because they make boneheaded plays, but they become a part of the family, and that's the full circle effect of being a Bills fan. And
I'm going to let Cody get to his thing right after this, but I do have to bring this up because it's a perfect segue. I was given this VHS tape. Now, Mike might be the only one to remember what these are, but as you can see there, we got a family name on the back here, and I just want to tell you guys something. This is the most Buffalo thing of all time, right? This appears to be a family video that was recorded for I would assume it's probably someone's wedding. It says Peter, Paul, and Mary 1993 plus James Taylor. It's probably their first dance. But guess what was recorded over that? The Buffalo Bills, Houston Oilers 1993 comeback game.
And
now, that is as Buffalo as it gets. I received this from my brother-in-law, Zach Poffler. Shout out to his cousin, Dave, with the assist, who gave it to him to give to me. It was found during a clean-out. And this is Buffalo lore right here. So you got to love it. And you're absolutely right, Brett. Yeah, when you say it's like losing a brother, this is just how important the Buffalo Bills franchise is to us, recording the comeback game over your own wedding.
I hope they're still together, Jake. Are they still together is the question, because the wife was probably so upset that he just wasted memory.
Right? This is pretty incredible. I absolutely love it.
I'll tell you a funny story, Jake, real quick. Yeah, kind of similar to what you're saying here. I just cleaned my garage yesterday, and I'm going through boxes and everything. I have some stuff from my dad that moving around and everything. And I also had some stuff that I had, but I found a tape, just like you said, same color and everything, same VHS style.
Yeah.
And it said, my mom and dad's wedding anniversary, video and everything. And I was thinking, hey, I should really find a VHS tape where, a TV that I could play it on. And I looked at it and I'm like, okay, it's got their names on it and everything. And I turned it over. Same thing. It's got the greatest comeback in NFL history on there.
Oh,
I'm going,
that is awesome, man.
this is so crazy.
Dude.
So I asked my dad about this, and he goes, yeah, as you can tell, I didn't really love your mom that much anymore. I had to tape her over that. They're not together anymore. So, I mean, it makes sense. But
listen, this love for this team trumps everything else.
It does. Hey, I love my mom. I really do. I love her. I hate to say anything bad about her. But I'm sorry, but I love the Bills more than her. I'm not gonna lie. She knows it too.
Oh my God.
She knows it.
No, I mean I can see it now. They're watching they're watching the wedding, right? And then the game's about to be on. Oh my God, this is gonna be the comeback. Record it. Hit the record button. God.
As soon as a
lot of families,
a
lot of marriages ruined with that one. I'm telling you. So.
Oh yeah.
As soon as my mom was walking down the aisle, that's when they cut it to the game.
My gosh, Brett, terrible.
I love it.
Terrible. We're sorry, Brett's mom. Sorry. Cody, we got a question for you from Weston. So for Cody, the Texans about to have the best defensive backfield in the league this season. You excited?
I'm very excited, but I do have to mention it first. I assume easily the youngest on here. But even I, back in the day, we had some Clifford the Big Red Dog VHS tapes that I grew up with. We're not too far out of it, though. I'm still under 30. We're turning 28 here in a month or two. But I still grew up with some of those things. So we're all not that old here. Those were still within my lifetime at least. But that defensive back group, you've got Stingley, CJ, Kalen Bullock, Lockdown Lassie, and Petrie at the nickel. It's definitely in contention to be the best D-back room in the entire league. And then you put the edges of Will Anderson and Daniel Hunter along with that, and you're gonna have a hard time passing on this team. Now, we also see on the other side of things that we might have one of the worst offensive lines. Joe Mixon might not be healthy, and we're going to rely on CJ Stroud to play bailout ball the entire year as well. So it'll be interesting. It'll be an interesting dynamic in how this team goes. There's already been reports of, Nick Chubb looks like he's completely washed and can't hit the second level of burst into the second and third down or portion of the defense. He doesn't have that burst anymore left in him. And then there's also been reports of the defense having to be told to relax to let the offense be able to function sometimes within training camp so far. So interesting sides and dynamics of the ball, but that DeMeco Ryans led defense is going to absolutely rain hell across the league. Yes.
The question I have is it going to be John Mechie? Is it going to be Jaden Higgins? I mean, who's going to be Jalen Knoll too? I mean, you got all the Iowa State guys, Xavier Hutchinson too, right?
We've got three of them. We've got Hutch, and then the two rooks from this year. But no, the starting three is pretty much guaranteed to be locked in. It's going to be Jaden Higgins, it's going to be Christian Kirk, and it's going to be Nico Collins. Honestly, I don't think John Mechie makes this team. So that'll be interesting. I know there's been a lot of hope for him, and obviously with everything he's gone through, it's just kind of unfortunate that it's probably hindered a little bit of what his career potentially could have been. But I don't think he really makes the team anymore at this point. We got Knoll will make the team. Tank Dell will be on IR. You've got Xavier Hutchinson, Justin Watson, Braxton Berrios. Those will be kind of your special teams guys. And I just don't think that John Mechie cracks it on the special teams to be able to make the roster, unfortunately.
Yeah,
that's a bummer. What type of cancer did he have?
Oof, I know it was. I don't know specifically which type.
Was it prostate? Maybe something like that.
He was dealing with that for about a year. Knocked him out, I believe, all of his rookie year. Whenever they brought him in for all of the camp evaluations, they found it. Thankfully, I mean, luckily you got that type of screening that early that probably most people wouldn't have had the access to do. So thankfully for him that he was able to get it. And then you've got. It'll be interesting to see. Christian Kirk's only on the 1-year deal. I know Tank Dell's going to be out for the entirety of this year, but hopefully he can come back as well. Kind of another guy that's potentially had his career completely derailed because Jared Wayne decided to swan dive into his knee against the Kansas City Chiefs And hopefully he can come back from that as well and kind of be that slot replacement if we don't re-sign Kirk.
I see.
completely agree. Jake, I have a trivia question for you, okay? Because you're Mr. Encyclopedia here.
Okay.
When was the last time the Buffalo Bills won against the Houston Texans when they were playing in Houston?
Okay, in Houston. Was it 2006 with JP Lossman where Lee Evans went off? He had like 280 yards or something, or 278 maybe?
Yep. It was.
I remember that game. That was I mean, that was a highlight because that was really all you were going to get. That was your highlight of the season, honestly.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was an easy one.
Who was the other wide receiver for the Buffalo Bills that went off?
In that game, what Peerless Price was he? Yeah. Because Peerless came back that year in 06. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love
too
it.
easy
Wow.
for Jake.
November 2006 was the last
What
time.
were the numbers? Give me the numbers for that one, Brett. You got it?
Oh, man. I know it was 2 touchdowns for Lee Evans. I think it was 2 touchdowns for Peerless Price at the time.
How many was it? 270 something? 278?
Oh,
I want to say it was like a franchise record.
I'm going to the box score real quick. Lee Evans had 2 83-yard touchdown passes.
Yeah.
In the game.
How many yards total, though?
Yards total in the game. He had 265 yards, 2 touchdowns.
I don't know why I thought 278. I knew it was up there, though. Yeah.
And I was wrong. Peerless Price did not go off in that game. He did have a touchdown, though. But he had 2 catches for 21 yards.
Oh. Okay. Well, I mean, when you got a receiver with 265,
yeah, I mean,
what more can you expect?
Right.
But how about JP Lossman? 26 for 38 in the game, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. I did have 2 sacks, which, obviously stinks. But, let's go back in the day and talk about this as a starting quarterback of the Houston Texans, Derek Carr.
David Carr.
25 of 30 in the game.
Yeah.
0 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Yeah, yikes. Was Dominic Davis or Dominic Williams at the time? He renamed his last name to Williams. I think he was the running back there, I want to say.
For the Houston Texans?
Yeah.
It was, let me see.
Was it
Sam Congato?
It was
Sam Congato? Was it really? That's awesome. Yep. He went there after the Packers. So I think Williams was hurt that game. Dominic Williams, yeah. Dominic Davis.
Going up against Andre Johnson and Eric Moles.
Oh, I love it.
Nice.
That's great, man. That was peak JP Lossman, man. 06.
JP Lossman was Jake's. I mean, Jake thought he was the
loved
savior.
him.
He was going to be the savior. Loved him. Got the jersey. Was all about JP.
Did you? I heard this rumor. This was probably like 6-7 years ago that this happened. He was the quarterbacks coach at Clemson, and he was throwing the ball.
Oh, JP Lossman. Yeah.
Lossman was. So he was throwing the ball around and just slinging it to the receivers and everything. And the scout saw him, and they said, "Hey, listen, if you're looking to come back into the NFL, we'll offer you a tryout if you want to come and play for another team." Lossman said, "Look, I'm too old for this crap. I'm just going to tell you that right now. I'm too old for this.
Awesome.
I'm 38 years old at the time. I don't even think I'm going to be able to make a roster."
I think he's in Washington, I want to say right now. He's a quarterback's coach maybe there at University of Washington.
Good for him, though. I mean,
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. He's doing
we
good.
Went way off the track on that one.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Listen, we're going way back.
Let's bring it back here. Brett, is Dawson Knox healthy?
Dawson Knox is healthy. He's back. He was injured at the beginning of training camp, and he was able to come back, and he made a couple of catches during the return of the blue and red game.
All right, awesome. Trey wants the Bills to keep all 4 tight ends. Spam 13 personnel. He said the Bills, with all the wide receiver injuries, have been practicing a lot of 12 and 13 personnel. Let's see, Trek for your put Gilliam in the Parsons deal. He's still trying to make that deal. Let's see. Marv Levy. Let's give it up. Marv Levy
today
is now 100 years old. Incredible. Okay, so I think I read something yesterday, and I want you guys to tell me if this is fake news or is this really going on. I think Jim Kelly was going to go, but it was a decision whether to go or not. I believe his grandchild has some type of serious medical condition. Don't know what the details are. I don't think he shared that, but my prayers are with him because we all know what he went through with Hunter, his son. Very sad situation. And now a grandchild. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if anyone has any more information. But did I read that right?
You read it right, Mike. It's very sad what happened during the story and everything. I don't know all the details necessarily. All I know is that they're going through a very difficult month after the birth of his grandchild, and the grandchild didn't make it, which it's awful. Yeah, he posted about it the other day that he didn't make it, and
I didn't hear that.
Appreciated all the prayers and everything. I hope I'm reading it wrong, because I saw a post and everything that he made on Instagram. Hopefully I'm reading it right. And I hate covering stories about death. I think it's horrible. I think that should stay within the family and everything. But I do believe that he passed away from what I read. And he said that it's a brutal time, and just to keep their thoughts and prayers with his daughter and everything I think it's their first child as well. So it's
right. Well, we'll definitely fact check, because I didn't read that. I just think I read this yesterday. But my goodness, whether the child passed or not, just super sad for the family, and prayers and thoughts are with them.
Look at everything that the Kelly family has gone through. I mean, over the years, with cancer, with just losing a son, and now a grandchild. I mean, it's brutal, but they're resilient people. That's the thing, is they'll bounce right back and welcome another member of the family soon.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. I'm just catching up with the chat here. Want to keep up with all of you. Texans versus Bills is going to be awesome. Revenge tour, says Trey. Oh man, Cody might have something to say about that. Nico, most underpaid wide receiver in the league. What a steal! Is that true, Trey? I'm sorry. Is that true, Cody?
He just signed the deal like a year ago. He'll get it reworked next year. He is incredibly underpaid comparatively to what the new wide receivers are paying. Top 5 wide receiver in the league, Nico Collins. I don't want to hear anybody talk back about that one. That is, I will put Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase up there. Maybe you can throw in a CeeDee Lamb and an Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'll also throw in a Puka Nacua being in that range. But then it's Nico Collins right after that. I don't want to hear anything about these rookies, one-year wonders, and Malik Neighbors or Brian Thomas Jr. being better than Nico right now.
Absolutely. 100% agree. Talk about size, 6'4", 220. I mean, he does it all, man. He's different on a new level.
So I have a question for you, Cody, okay? Because this is something that's been brought up on my channel quite a few times. When is the right time to have your draft? Because I know some people like to do it before the preseason games get started. When do you like to draft overall? What weekend and what day of the week do you like to draft?
If it is redraft just on 1 year, I want to get as close to the first game as possible. Like my honestly perfect scenario is we all meet up at 5 p.m. I don't know what, we're going around the country and doing different time zones and everything, but meet up 2 hours before the Thursday night first NFL game kicks off. You draft, and then you watch the first NFL game kick off. That is prime, absolute peak performance of how you do a draft. You get everybody together in the same room, have everybody together. You even have a draft board maybe where you put up the stickers on the actual board, and then you also put in on the actual website, whichever platform you're playing on. For redraft, it probably should be Sleeper, even though I hate them with a burning passion currently right now as well. And then you watch the NFL game. You have pizza, beer, wings, whatever you want to do, and you enjoy everything that football is as it's kicking off for the season.
I'm so glad you said that, Cody. I am doing that for the first time this year with my neighborhood league. We're drafting at 5 o'clock, going right into that first season game. I'm having a tailgate outside. It's going to be electric. The wife already knows. We put it on the calendar. So that's going to be my final draft. I am so excited to hear that news. By the way, what is your favorite app to use as far as fantasy football apps go?
I hate them all, unfortunately. There's not one that's perfect. My most used one right now is Sleeper. However, unfortunately, they have no development team. All that they care about is the end profit goal of making money. And currently all that they're doing right now is doing all of their betting stuff. And it has significantly over the last 2 years slowed down and destroyed the app. And they don't have a development team in the back end to fix it. The interesting news for the people that pay for a league, there's a league, or there's a site called My Fantasy League that looks like it is built from the 1990s and hasn't been updated. They have recently been acquired by new ownership, and they are currently building out an app and redesigning the entire website platform. So hopefully in 2026, MFL will be the new standard, but unfortunately you have to pay like $70 to have a league run on there. We'll see if that continues forward with the new management group. Probably will, because it's hard to turn down money. But hopefully that's the new standard next year. But for right now, it's Sleeper.
All right. All right. Well, let's get into our final segment of the night. Again, Nickel City Rush Hour plus. Right? We're going to be an hour and a half, probably a little longer than that. But we love it. Hopefully you do as well. The return of the red and blue. And I was just questioning the guys before the show, like, why do we call it the return of the red and blue? Because it returns every year. I mean, got to come up with something new for the name. But Jake, you were at the red and blue. I think you've been there before, or was this your first time participating in the red and blue?
So I went last year, and I had gone in previous years. It was under a different regime. So it's funny, the last time I had gone prior to last year for that open training camp at the stadium was when the Bills had J.P. Lossman as a rookie. Jason Peters was being tried out at tight end still. So that was the last one before that. So, yeah, pretty cool. Now we made it a family tradition. This year I was able to take my 3-year-old daughter, little Maxie, MVP. So she got to experience her first like Bills overall experience. And it was cool because obviously Highmark Stadium, we're going to be getting the new Highmark Stadium in, less than a year now. So, yeah.
So
pretty awesome.
Talk to me about, is it just a glorified training session or practice session?
Yeah,
talk
more
to me
or less.
about what the experience is like there. And I got a few film, some footage from you, so we're going to play that as well.
It's just a public practice. The stadium was filled with 39,000 people, which was pretty incredible. They had a massive wave going throughout the whole stadium. And it's basically just that, Mike. I mean, it's really cool. It's an inside glimpse at what a pro practice would look like. I think some people were slightly disappointed because, you expected to see a little bit more from Josh Allen throwing in like the actual scrimmage game, the blue versus red scrimmage. And he was pretty much shut down. They have him more or less in bubble wrap right now. So I just want to make sure, obviously, he doesn't tweak or hurt or do anything because we need that man to win a Super Bowl this year. So it was awesome. You got to see a lot of different things, positional drills and all that good stuff. So I took a couple of videos. It was hard to film because I had Maxie. She wanted to sit on my lap half the time. So I'm trying to finagle. I got my phone up. She's trying to hold my phone. And it's just, so I did the best I could. So I apologize I didn't get more videos, but had to get a couple here for you. One of those being your boy Landon Jackson, which you'll see.
All right. So I'm going to load these up real quick. Have them just about ready to go. And let's take a look. And now I don't know how this is going to sound. There is audio on these. Hopefully it doesn't blow your ears out. But let me take this off real quick. And let's try to watch one of these things here.
So that was just Greg Rousseau going through a positional drill. We were right near the defensive line. It was pretty awesome to see. I can tell you this, Deion Walker is a mammoth of a human being. That dude is huge.
Is he in this? Did you see him anywhere here?
He's not in this. You can see TJ Sanders there, 98. Some other guys as well, Larry Ogunjobi. Looks like Epenesa's got his hand in the ground right now. But, yeah, Rousseau's leading the pack there. Leading by example. And Joey Bosa is the guy there in street clothes wearing the black pants and red shirt. Got it.
Okay, good deal. All right, let's
and
go
this drill, actually, Mike, was ran by Ryan Nielsen, a guy that we brought over from the Atlanta Falcons. He was a defensive coordinator the last few years. He has been hounding the defensive line the last few weeks in training camp, just trying to get more out of them. And I think you're going to see a hungrier defensive line this year.
Without a doubt. Yep.
Oh, definitely. This defensive line is going to be stellar. Here we go. Let's take a look at another one here.
Just great athlete. So here I'm just kind of doing a little pan over of everyone, and then I see Mike's boy Landon Jackson. And I'm like, take a look at this stud. And it looks like he's wearing a Guardian cap there too. So very interesting. Obviously not a ton of participation from him. I think they're trying to take it a little easy on him. He is limited. But just the positional stuff that he did, just being out there, he looked good. So we'll take that all day.
Yeah, it's been interesting. I haven't been hearing a lot of camp news about him. We know that he was on the PUP list going into camp, and then he was activated right as camp started. And I do think they are taking it easy on him as well. But I'll tell you what, this guy, I can't wait to see him on the field. I'm sure we're going to get our first action here in a preseason game soon, and this dude's going to shine. This is a jersey I'm going to own for sure. So
absolutely. You can see your boy Hoyt over there, Brett, wearing the 55 there, right next to Epinesa. Cam Klein there, and I think he's working with Larry Ogunjobi. And then you got the two guys that looks like Javon Solomon and Greg Rousseau giving him some pointers, which is awesome to see.
That's wonderful. Let me play the last one. I think this is a little Josh Allen in his red.
Yeah, you're gonna love this.
Playing catch with the fans. Here we go.
So that's our quarterback, man. He makes it a point to take care of the kids. All right, his head got in the way there. Throwing the ball at everyone. Came out wearing that red helmet. Looks phenomenal. And he always wears a visor during camp, which you love to see.
I wish they would have had the red helmet with the blue. I think that would have been nicer. But and that guy, I hope you yelled at the dude standing up in front of you, like, sit down, buddy. I'm trying to record my guy, Josh Allen. Sit down.
Pretty much.
But pretty cool stuff. Those are the three videos that I have from you. I know you shared this. Maxie went with you. Who went with you? Is it just Maxie?
So
or who else went with you?
No, it's funny. It was me, Maxie, my brother-in-law Zach, his two kids, two of three kids, I should say. And then we actually met up with my wife's cousin and her 5 kids. So
wow,
it was them, and then her husband, and all sat together in a row. It was great. So basically, it's general admission, your ticket, and they say whether you're lower or upper level. We got lower level, which is pretty cool. So we got to go down about 20 rows up from the field, which is pretty great. We got there just on time. We arrived right at 5:30 when practice started. So it was great. Stayed the entire time. The kids were loving it. I think they're ready to go do some coach speak and, run some clinics themselves. So you'll love to see it.
So Jake, for those that don't know this, maybe like people like myself that don't live in Buffalo, how do you get tickets to the return of the blue and red game?
So they're totally free. They announced that basically they release them on a specific date. You go, you buy them, I should say. You don't really buy them. You just put them in your cart. I was able to get 6, which is awesome. So we were able to all go, and totally free. And it's just an awesome fan experience across the board. Probably the most kid-friendly experience you'll have outside of like the Kids Day preseason game. But other than that, it is tough. You spend a lot of money for these tickets. And if you have littler kids, a lot of times, the kids don't want to necessarily stay the whole time. This is nice because it's open. You just go down, you select your seats, you sit there, you can get up and kind of move around a little bit. So it is just overall a great experience. And the players all sign autographs at the end. Dion Dawkins gave a lot of love to everyone too. That's the one thing about these Bills players, man. They are so ingrained with the fan base. So it's just a beautiful thing to see.
So if you go down to the wall, the players are coming up to the wall and signing things for folks.
Yeah. I was not able to get down there, unfortunately, because it was just mobbed. But yeah.
What other special things do they do? I mean, obviously Josh Allen, you're saying that's really all he did, threw some balls to the crowd, didn't really play at all in the game.
He did just like RVA's, routes versus air, did some 7-on-7 stuff, some skelly, but there really wasn't a whole lot outside of that. It was the Mike White and Mitch Trubisky show for the most part.
All right. Pretty cool. I mean, how long was the session there?
2 hours, a little over 2 hours actually. So 5:30, we got out of there around 7:45-ish. So not too shabby. And the attendance for an open practice, you're right, John. It was over 39,000 people. Pretty incredible.
Just shy of 40,000.
Yeah.
That
doesn't happen.
How's the weather?
Weather was perfect. 75 and sunny. Can't beat
beautiful.
It. Yep.
Can't beat that. Beautiful. Well, cool stuff, Jake. I wish the red and return of the red and blue. I don't know when that started. Anyone know when that actually started?
I don't know when they got the iteration of that, but it had always been a thing. They used to do it on a Saturday. I know that because it's funny. Trek Reviewer says this. Jason Peters wearing number 86. That is correct. He did wear 86 when he was a tight end here. And that was the last open practice that I had gone to prior to last year. So, yeah, I know it used to be on a Saturday. I don't think it was called that before. I think they just started calling it the return or blue and red not too long ago.
It's funny. He says big Deion Walker is still 30 pounds lighter than big Ted Washington was. My
Crazy.
goodness.
Yeah.
Deion Walker has been getting really good press out of camp as well. So excited to hear that. Just a big physical dude. Love it. Well, cool. Thanks, Jake. That was fun. Never been to one. I think it would be a fantastic time, and I'm glad you're able to share that with your daughter. Next, it'll be your boy here. A couple years.
That's right.
Taking him as well. Taking all of them. Cool stuff. That kind of does it. We're at the hour and 34-minute mark. Again, the rush hour plus. I want to go around the horn. It's been a great time. We just love talking sports, Bills in general. So hope you all enjoyed the ride. Cody, I'm going to start with you. You're our guest. Appreciate you all the time. Best voice in podcasting, the podcasting world. Fantasy Draft Channel, right? Do I have that right?
Fantasy Draft Room.
Draft Room. Again, I don't know if I've added you to the
I am on there. I was watching.
I was going to be like, dang it, I better
Mel.
have him there. So I'm glad we have him. Just go down to our awesome channel list, click on that link. You won't be disappointed. And again, if you want to talk to Cody, join our Discord, man. He's there all the time. He chimes in whenever there's a question for him. So, Cody, any final thoughts from you, sir?
Yeah, I mean, if it's linked on the last video, if you go over to that channel as well, if you want to see everything for the projections for the Buffalo Bills, that's already in a video online, so that's completely free to see. We do have I have two more things to close this one out. In the last 15 minutes or so, the NFLPA has named a new interim executive director in David White. So we have a replacement from the absolute fumble, and then there's even more stuff saying that the executive board actually voted for him 10-1 in replacement of the other guy that was just kind of disgracefully resigned. However, they're given that to the players, and then nobody actually looks at the recommendation from the executive board, and then the players all vote on it, and they voted in the guy that they didn't want to vote in. So now there's a whole nother scandal with that one happening. Disgusting stuff at the top of the NFLPA. And then my favorite thing, though, to put it on a lighter note for as we're getting out of here, favorite thing from the week is if you've seen the reports out of the Pittsburgh Steelers camps, they are reportedly running personnel packages of 04. They are running 4 tight end personnel packages in the Pittsburgh Steelers offense.
Wow.
Yes.
And everybody hates Arthur Smith in the fantasy football community. I absolutely love it. They are putting Darnell Washington at fullback and throwing Jonnu Smith a pitch toss pass with 4 tight ends on the field. It is beautiful.
It reminds me of the Cowboys back in the day when they had like the little thing going on with that. They had like, it was Richie Anderson and Jason Witten when he was a rookie, and Dan Campbell and a bunch of other. That is fun, Cody. I love that. Yes. Fires me up.
Has anyone ever have they ran that in an actual
It's been
game?
done before. Like I said, I think 04, you want to go back to the Cowboys back in 2004. They had a formation similar to that where they were utilizing a fullback / tight end and 3 tight ends. Yeah, Jonnu Smith playing some running back now. It's crazy. Arthur Smith loves Jonnu Smith. That was a hell of a trade for him. That's going to be fun. I don't care what you think of it, but I think it's going to be awesome.
Kind of fun.
Awesome.
Weston, right? How can I forget mentioning Weston in our Discord? This dude brings you news before any of those other insiders typically do. He's posting every one of our threads, bringing you the latest news. Another good reason to get into that Discord. Thank you, Weston. We really appreciate that. Good friend of ours. Thanks, Cody. Cool. I'm looking forward to that fantasy football show to, get me back in line, maybe get me back to, I've been close. It's like Brett was saying last week that I've been losing and I'm sad. I need some help, but I've been close, man. I'm always in the playoffs. I mean, I'm a playoff team every year, guaranteed. Bet on it. But last couple of years, somebody lucky like Brett or somebody else got a little lucky, just like your wife beat you or is leading you in fantasy football. It happens every now and then. You go through a little bit of a period of time where some folks that shouldn't be winning are winning. I mean, all the data is right there for you now, Cody. The apps will auto draft for you. And I've known people to win a league that had been auto drafted. Yep. And all the information there used to never be there. So watch out.
Oh, I love it, Weston. Fire me up, man.
Brett, let me throw it to you, sir. Closing thoughts. Thank you for joining us again, my friend.
Of course. And, I wouldn't miss it for the world. You guys are good friends of mine. I love everything about what you guys do on your channel, and you bring me some notoriety to my channel too, and I appreciate that. So I mean, I'm looking forward to this week. I'm still posting videos every day of what's going on at training camp on my channel, and we're gonna start this week covering the Buffalo Bills in training camp as well as the preseason. We got a game coming up on Saturday, which I can't wait for, the New York Giants. So we got to kick this off and have a kickoff show on my channel. So I'm planning on doing that on Saturday. So tune into Go Bills podcast for a pregame show of the preseason game, halftime show, and a postgame show as well.
Yeah, love it, Brett. You're doing a great job over there, man. Love it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Mr. Podger, close it out for us, sir.
Hell yeah, Brett. Yeah, keep it up. Keep up the good work, man. I notice it. You're doing great. You're gaining subscribers left and right. We appreciate the hell out of you. Cody, the voice of an angel, thank you for joining us today. You're going to love the player I select to do some homework on for all the viewers out there, because I'm going to start doing that for every show, just because that's me. I'm a football nerd. I got to bring some light on some of these players that maybe go unrecognized. And this is more of a guy that did have some recognition throughout his career, but maybe has gotten forgotten. Maybe has been forgotten in the mix of great tight ends that have since arrived in the NFL here. But your homework tonight, if you're out there watching, I want you to go look up Owen Daniels, great former Houston Texan. That's for you, Code. Week 1 of the NFL preseason is officially upon us. We do count the Hall of Fame game, but this is week 1 of Buffalo Bills preseason, week 1 of Houston Texans preseason. Let's go. I'm fired up.
Love it. All right, everyone. Thanks again for joining us tonight. We'll be back same time next Sunday. Till then, stay safe, be good to one another, and of course, go Bills.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.